One. Hello, my name is Bryce Tubbs. With me today is Michael Tranmer. I'm extremely excited to be able to share his story with you guys today because Michael embodies and speaks on transcendent leadership, drawing on his experiences from his personal and professional life. And he's the up-and-coming author of Satori Ananda, Awaken to Happiness, a memoir about the life transformation he experienced following, some turbulent times in his life. So I cannot wait to share this story with you guys and really let you guys know what he has going on. Thank you so much, Michael.
Yeah, thank you, Bryce. Thank you for the opportunity. Amazing. I always appreciate these opportunities to be on people's shows and podcasts and YouTube channels, just so I can connect with your community, just so I can add value to the folks that resonate with you and trust you and love you. And like we talked about in the introduction, it's me just offering a fresh piece of content and perhaps a fresh way, a fresh perspective somewhere in the world. And that is really one of my intentions for each and every day, is to learn something new, to meet someone new, and to get a new perspective. So I know that I can provide that to your valued listeners today.
Excellent. Can we talk about either life before you got into, the pursuit of being an author, and, what was the catalyst that brought you into the field?
Yeah, beautiful. And my life before my new life, which is different in some ways than my old life, and very new in different ways. But my old life was still here in Vancouver, British Columbia. I work as an engineer. I specialize in coastal engineering. So that's projects that are right along the ocean. It's a very interesting and challenging place to build things. That's my background, is in that. And a big part of my life before was being in a relationship, was being married. We were together for 12 years and married for 6 years. On the outside, perfect looking relationship. She's got a job, I got a job. We got married up in the mountains here in British Columbia, did the honeymoon in Maui. Just so fortunate, and obviously so privileged to be able to live that life. And while it was a good relationship, it wasn't great in some aspects. But when it came to a real sudden end about 2.5 years ago now, it was extremely hard, and for me and for her. It was her decision to leave and to end it. But for me, as a guy with a big heart, it really, really hurt. And it was really, really devastating. And what it really was now I had this vision of my life and where I was going, and then all of a sudden it was gone. And this is what I write all about in the book. And I feel it's really, really applicable right now, because in many people's lives, as we speak coming towards the middle of 2020, this same sort of thing is happening now. It may not be in a relationship, but perhaps it's in a job and some other change in their life.
So let's talk about that. How to really bounce back. What's the first step?
Yeah, and bounce back is it's interesting you use that term, because if it was a bounce back, it certainly was an ugly bounce back, and there was like multiple bounces up and down, so it wasn't just a one and out. But for me, I talk about the 3 C's of the process that I really went through, and I only got this real clarity on simplifying them after the fact. Mm-hmm. But the first C I talk about is that commitment. The commitment to pick yourself up. Because as wonderful as it was that I had so many friends and family supporting me, none of them were here to pick me up off the living room floor where, I cried myself to sleep many nights. That was up to me. Nobody's coming to save us in whatever aspect of challenge you're having in your life right now. So you got to make that commitment to yourself. Number 2, after that, you got to get clarity on what you want to create in your new world or on your new path. And the way I really achieved that clarity was I really removed a lot of the negative aspects of my life. Negative television, negative people, negative energy, because I wanted to be happy again. And that's why the book's subtitle is called Awaken to Happiness. That was my main goal, was to get my life back on track. But to get that clarity, I had to create the space. And then once you have the space, and that's why I talk so much about meditation and journaling, just to process the thoughts and get clear on what you want to create. So you got the commitment, you got the clarity, and then once you got the clarity, it takes a heck load of a lot of courage to move towards what your dreams are. And that's really the space I've been dancing in for the last 2 years, because this transition from really conservative engineer to kind of rock star engineer, speaker, coach, writer is beautiful to have that dream and to say that, but it takes a lot of courage to dance and become that person.
Mm. Let me ask you this. So maintaining positivity, maintaining that drive, even when things start going well again, because even before things were looking well on the outside, and for a time they might have been going well. Can you talk about how to manage success like you've done?
Yeah, it's an interesting question, because I think for me, and success is a funny word too, because I have these big milestones and these goals that I'm going to hit. And it's really important to speak like that when I say I'm going to hit. When you don't say, I hope to one day hit my goals, all you're going to get is the hoping. You got to claim that. But in terms of success and how to balance the positivity, I think it's really important for us as leaders is to be super honest that some days suck. Some days I lie in bed till the middle of the day. Some days I don't feel it. Some days I'm not crushing it. Some days I doubt myself. But those days are fewer than the days then I take, compared to the days that I take steps towards what I want to achieve. But I just want that to be the one message for everyone that's a leader, or that talks a lot about positivity or in leadership on social media. And I've made this mistake before, where I thought, as a coach and a leader, I have to be perfect. I have to be happy all the time. That's not achievable, my friends. So I think, but the thing that is achievable is being authentic all the time. Mm-hmm. Being authentic that we're humans, we have challenges. Yeah, we celebrate our wins, but we always learn from those challenges.
Now, let me ask you this question. So what has been either the hardest part or let's ask, what has been the most unexpected challenge about writing the book? Because I know you can do hard. I know you can do hard, but unexpected.
Oh, well, yeah, I love how you frame that. Writing. Now, I've obviously been writing engineering reports for years, so I know an extent how to write, but I did not know how to write a memoir. So I've literally learned how to write. I learned how to speak from stage, but I write in the book about wanting to become these things, because I got clear on who I was and how I wanted to show up in the world and how I wanted to impact people. I've been playing small, and I had not claimed those dreams that I had previously. But I wrote in the book, like and I write this line, it's something to the extent of, if I'm going to write a book, I'm going to write a bestseller. So that's great. That's awesome. I had to level up and become the person. I had to consciously elevate my existence to become the person who could do that. So what was the challenge in that? All of it, just how humbling, how long it's taken. It's taken 2 years through multiple editors, literally teaching me how to write. But I would say the hardest part has just been overcoming the fear and the doubt in my mind, and just keep going.
Mm. Can I ask you the fear of what?
Beautiful question. Beautiful. The fear of not writing something that's good, the fear of offending people, the fear of not saying something how I want to say it, but mainly the fear of putting something out there that's not going to achieve the impact that I want it to have. The fear of the fear of not being able to finish it. There's the fear of making a fool out of ourselves, doing all these new things. But for me, the way I always get over it, the way I always get past it is I'm real fortunate because I've felt my rock bottom.
Mm.
And perhaps in the future, there's another one and I'll survive through that too. But since I've felt the lowest of the low, all these other fears and challenges, even if I fail, you never fail, you always learn. But even if you don't succeed, nothing was ever going to feel as bad as I'd already felt. And when you have that invincibility, you can kick some real butt.
Yeah, that's why I was like, wow, because you know, like there is a lot that goes on with that, and I'm very, very grateful that we have you on the show. So you know, because a lot of people don't know how to keep moving forward, don't have that drive, or they haven't developed it yet. You know.
Yeah, the drive is, like I said, it comes and goes. But for me, I've got it right here. This is my drive. I'm holding up for people that are just listening. It's just a sticky pad, and I've got another one over there with more stuff on it, another list down there. But it's just a list. So that's my list for the day. I got one for the week. I got one for the month. And that's all it is. It's going through each day and slowly getting closer, ticking off those items, those tasks on the list, and getting closer to the things that are going to help us achieve our dream. You know, for me, you know, I have certain goals that I see and I believe are achievable for the book. Whether or not they actually happen, that's going to be up to the universe and some other folks helping me out. But they're not going to happen, I 100% know, if I do not create a book and I do not do the marketing that is in my hands. I can only do the stuff that I am capable of, and you damn well better be sure that I'm going to do that, so I can create the potential for my dream to come true.
Mm-hmm. So you know, can you talk about when the book may be ready, or how they can start maybe either following you further, so when it does come out, they can purchase it, or you know, share it with people?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I spend most of my time on Instagram. So I love to connect with anyone who's listening and watching to the show. Feel free to send me a message too. I respond to all the messages and just say, hey, I saw you and Bryce hanging out, chatting. But on Instagram, my name's Michael.Tranmer, Tran as in November, M as in Mike, ER. And the website for the book is michaeltranmer.com/Satori Ananda. And yeah, when the book comes out, looking at mid-July right now, super excited to get it out there. But be sure to visit that page, because during the launch and then every month thereafter, I'm going to be giving away a Amazon gift card to anyone who has, I'm going to do a raffle to anyone who has purchased the book, just as a way to build that momentum and say thank you. And I'll also put it out there, I'm building this amazing launch campaign for the book when it comes out in middle of July, and I'd love to have some of your followers be part of that as well. All it is sharing the launch on launch day in the middle of July, so send me a message if you're up for that. I've got a campaign reach of almost 300,000 people right now, and I'm so excited to get that out. And if you like, I can touch on about how I've done that, if that's valuable.
Yeah, could you?
Yeah, for sure. How I've done that is by building relationships. Just like you and I are having this conversation now, I've literally been nurturing beautiful relationships in the influencer space for 2 years. And what that means is I support other people's content. I like and comment on their posts. I share their programs. I share their services. So I've been doing that, and I talk to them and I motivate them, and then I also put out a ton of free content on my social media as well. So I'm just been giving and getting to know people, getting to know the people that actually follow you, message them and talk to them. And I've been building these relationships, and now it's come time where I can really use the support to get the message of this book out there, because I know this book is going to help many people, but it's not going to help them unless it gets in their hands. So I just thought it'd be great to touch on that aspect of really building these relationships is so beneficial to personal and professional development.
Yeah, that's a very, very, very strong network, especially because like now when you actually launch it, people know you exist.
Yeah, and when it's coming from someone that that they already follow and they already trust, and they have a relationship with me. That is the most valuable. Facebook ads and all that stuff out there, sure, it works to an extent, but to have that direct referral, that's gold.
Yeah. Can you talk about the name? So what does Ananda mean?
So Satori Ananda, and I write about how this title came to be in the book. I write about writing the book in the book, which is not something you see every day, because it was so new to me. I was stepping into this space, so it's really unique. But Satori Ananda, those are two words that I came across when I was really starting my personal development journey, my healing journey. I was reading a book by Eckhart Tolle. I was reading A New Earth. Beautiful book. I've read it several times. I didn't understand it the first couple times, but I'm getting it now, which is great. But I discovered these two words within that book. So Satori is Japanese for flash of enlightenment. Ananda is Sanskrit for the bliss of being. And I read these two words, and I read them about 2 months after the separation had happened. And I was going through all these changes and having all these new thoughts and building all this new awareness. And I came across these words, and I was like, wow. First of all, they sound amazing. I love how they sound. But secondly, they just so accurately described everything that I was going through, these flashes of enlightenment, and then this real bliss of being. When I was being fully present in the moment, that's when I was being peaceful. That's when I was being content. That's when I was being happy again.
So, I really appreciate your time today, and really thank you for, coming on the show and sharing your story with us today.
Beautiful. Yeah, my absolute pleasure. Like I said, love to connect with you and your audience. So whoever's listening, feel free. Yeah, this is what social media is for. Add me on Instagram, michael.tranmer, and just say, hey, I heard your interview with Bryce. Can ask me a question. Like, ask me to go deeper. Ask me something, how it relates to you. Like, don't be afraid to send messages. Let's continue to build this beautiful, empowering network, and yeah, that you've started here, Bryce. So really appreciate you.
Excellent. And for those watching, we really thoroughly hope that you got some great value out of this. Now, if you've been searching for a place where people are improving themselves and helping others do the same, I recommend you go check out our free community by clicking links either above or below the video. It's basically a mastermind. People come together and uplift and support each other every single day. So if that is what you have been searching for, go ahead and join us inside that community by clicking on the links above or below to come and join us. Hopefully you enjoyed watching this video as much as we enjoyed creating it. Feel free to hit that share button so other people can get some great value as well. Have a great day. Talk to you soon. We're done recording in 3 and 2 and